nuts I want in my mouth at any one time. The tree will experience new things and places. But here, it's always a good job. It's very nice.
Hello, it is Friday, and I am running late because it's garbage day, and I had to put out the garbage, which means I had to collect the garbage, I had to clean out the bunny cage, and I'm just a little late. Not a terrible late. Shouldn't be a problem. What's a bigger problem is trying to figure out what I'm going to do with these vlogs, because I don't want them to become all about politics, and yet I'm really finding I'm obsessed with politics and what's happening in the race today. And the reason I don't want to talk about politics, there are two. One, I think it can be tedious and boring and just Steve being on a soapbox. And two, I'm concerned over the way the election cycle is going. Not because I'm disturbed about which particular candidates are up or down. I'm concerned about the primary. Well, to an extent that's part of it, but it's because that seems to be the result of the way the primary system is working. The primary caucus system for choosing a candidate, some people might be surprised to learn that it's really not all that old. It didn't used to work this way. Those are largely the result of the fairly disastrous and largely chaotic Democratic 1968 convention in Chicago. After that event, people said, you know, there's a big train coming by. That's not what they said, but there's a big train coming. Want to see the big train? He's right over there. Can you see the big train? That was the big train. Where was I? The political system, the primaries. Yeah, it used to be candidates were chosen by conventions, and there was a lot of suspicious backroom dealings, the smoke-filled rooms they were called, because they were moneyed old men, all white men, all moneyed, smoking cigars in back rooms, making suspicious deals, and nobody liked that idea. There was not a lot of transparency. No, so there was a lot of distrust, and people were not always happy with what decisions were made. So the primary system was devised to let the people have much more say, and today they have much more say. In fact, they have most of the say in most cases. But the question is, which people? Do the primaries get a balanced representative of what the people are looking for? A couple of videos back, I talked about the importance of we the people and the middleman that traditional American, I don't want to talk about American values as if they were a monolithic thing, but the concept was that that there was a wisdom in the everyman that we see today in Twitch. That person, that middle-of-the-road person, was trusted to be kind of sensible and be able to decide what was good for the country. The primary system, as it has evolved over the 40 or 50 years, past 40 or 50 years, seems to me, at least, to pull out the people who are most passionate, most fervent, but also the most, well, to the left of the left party and to the right of the right party. You can definitely see it in the Republicans, and I think you see it equally strongly in the Democrats. And the centrist candidates are getting left by the wayside, even though I think, and I think most Americans think, a centrist candidate might be the ideal, not for necessarily for what we want, but for what is eventually best for the country. I'm not sure that's what we're getting, and so I'm not sure we're getting the best possible candidates. We'll see, of course, and time will tell, but I don't know. Got a call there from the school district that my daughter goes to looking for her transfer papers. Do we want candidates from the Republican Party from the far right wing who get most of their opinions and views and information from Fox News and talk radio, especially talk radio? And do we want people on the left who get almost all of their news and information from BuzzFeed, Tumblr, and Twitter posts? I'm not sure either one of those are the most balanced, complete, and thorough picture that you can get of events and the people behind them. Another reason I'm reluctant to talk about politics much more, even though I think it's important and I wish we were talking about it, I want us all to be talking and listening, and I'm not sure how much listening goes on. Hank has spoken many times about cognitive bias and how difficult it is to move someone's opinion, that when we're presented with contradictory information to what we already believe, we tend to reject that. We tend to glom onto any possible rationalization that supports our views and reject anything that runs counter to it. I am probably as guilty of that as anyone. I try to be open and listen to people who are supporting people on the right, although I have a hard time getting much farther right than John Kasich. And I try to listen to people who are supporting Bernie. I like Bernie a lot. He's an incredibly idealistic person with lofty goals and noble ideals. I'm just not sure that he is, one, electable, and two, that if he was elected, that he could get any of his lofty goals and noble ideals enacted and passed the Congress, as the Congress is likely to look after this next election. So I'm not sure where I'm going with that. So maybe I'll just have video clips of my day and throw some music montage behind them, and you'll have to live with that. Really severe lighting as I'm headed towards the sun on my way home now, and I'm in a rush because I've got to get to the Beaumont Unified School District offices to pick up some papers. I've got to get there by 4 o'clock, and I don't have a lot of time. Okay, made that, but it was very close. Thank goodness they stayed till 4 o'clock, because I got there at 3:59 and got the papers. Win for the day. One final note on politics for today, and you can let me know if anybody is with me. I am extremely tired of news organizations covering the horse race much more than covering the issues or policies related to any of the candidates. The vast majority of the coverage goes to who's up, who's down, who's gaining momentum, who's losing momentum, and not to what any of them actually want to do, would do, or how they would do it. And I want to know those things. If anybody's with me, let me know. Tell me about that down in the comments. And if that's all you hear from me today, I will talk to you again about something soon, hopefully. Don't forget to be awesome.
Video of him doing gymnastics. It's pretty great.
We're about to go running. Well, I'm about to go running. Well, I'm about to go skating. So that's where we're off to. We don't exactly go together for the most part. She goes way in front, and then she waits for me to catch up. And when we have steep downhills, she waits for me, and I help keep her under control. And